What's up, everybody? Cigar Sherpa Laird Mayhew back with another cigar review. Today I've got the Kristoff Vengeance and Robusto. Stay tuned.
I can smoke stogies in my house. First of all, because her father introduced me to stogies, and second of all, because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
All right. Welcome back to another episode here at Cigar Sherpa. I, of course, am your host, Laird Mayhew, and if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. Please subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think about it. If it's not your first time here and you're a regular, welcome back. It's always good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the support. Anyway, like my intro said, today I've got the Kristoff Vengeance. Okay, it's a Maduro, okay, and it's got a Connecticut Broadleaf wrapper. It's got an Indonesian binder, which is interesting, and it's got a Dominican and Nicaraguan blend, all aged Habano tobaccos. So it's a good. I've smoked it before. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a while. It's been a few months, probably since the summertime since I smoked it. I've had a few of them in the bigger sizes, but it's a good full-bodied cigar. Medium to full is how it's billed. I remember it being full-bodied. Interesting about this cigar is it was released, I believe it was the first cigar released by Kristoff, and it failed, okay, according to the owner, Glenn Case, I believe is his name. Interesting story on that guy too, and I won't bore you with all the details. Not that your story is boring, Glenn, if you ever watch this, but you know we're here for the cigar review. But he was a guy that had a pretty good job, from what I understand, or he was in the banking industry before it failed, so he got out of the, or before it crashed back in the early 2000s, whatever. Decided to turn his hobby into a business and started brokering cigars. And then basically, I don't know what happened there. Said he worked himself out of a job. But anyway, decided, you know what, I'm just going to start my own line. Went down, met up with some guy, I don't know his name, down in Dominican Republic at the Fairmont or Farming. I don't know. I should know this stuff. But anyway, he's a guy that was in the real world like you and me and decided, I love cigars so much. If I can get in the cigar business, I ain't going to be working. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing what I love. Started his own brand, and he's been successful. And they're good. You should check them out. Kristoff. Anyway, so we're talking about the Vengeance here. They originally had a Brazilian wrapper on it. Okay, and I don't know the rest of the story on that, but I think you've had enough history lesson for me for one day. So, Connecticut Broadleaf wrapper. It is a beautiful wrapper. It looks like this thing has been dunked, so it's got tight, invisible seams. It's it's got a pigtail cap, and it's got a closed shaggy foot. It's kind of been twisted. So you know I'm a big fan of that. It smells like Connecticut Broadleaf. Kind of got like a faint pepper, earthy smell. Okay, so anyway, only way we're going to know about this thing is we cut it and light it. So stay tuned, and I will be right back when I get into the first third. All right. So when you've got a closed foot, you can't do whatever you want. But you don't have to sit there and toast it like you normally would. You can just go ahead and light it. I like to do that because it gives me the first couple draws give me that wrapper flavor. Okay, and of course being Connecticut Broadleaf, it's got a very silty, coffee, peppery flavor to it. So I kind of enjoy that. And, it gives all the tobacco on the closed foot time. It kind of lights evenly and just kind of works its way onto the shaft, cannon, main body of the cigar and lights up nice and even. So as it gets onto the main body, it's got a wood flavor. Okay, it's got a strong pepper in the retrohale that is still stinging my nose. So be careful with that. It's got a coffee flavor. Okay, that's the wrapper that I'm getting. So anyway, I'm going to get into the first third and tell you what I think about it from there. Stay tuned. All right. We're about 6-7 minutes in, but we're into the first third. This is a 5-inch by 50 ring gauge cigar, so it's going to be a little bit quicker of a smoke. Perfect size, one of my favorite size. Next to the Toro, but generally I like a Robusto 5x50. I'll go as high as a 54. But once I start getting over that, it gets a little too big for me. I'll still smoke it though. Flavors on this thing are good. Okay, that wood flavor that I had is a cedar. Okay, it's more of a defined cedar. Got a bit of a sweetness to it. It's got a very, very good black coffee flavor note to it, and I would say that that is the predominant flavor note is black coffee. It leaves a taste in my mouth, a finish in my mouth of like I just took a sip of very strong, silty black coffee. Okay, it's got a good black pepper on the retrohale. It's got black pepper on the flavor palette. And the smoke is now, as it starts to develop, the smoke is starting to get like a creamy texture to it. And there's a lot of smoke. It's not burning off at the end, kind of like what you would typically see on a Drew Estates cigar, but it's got a very good draw. It's loose, but it's got minimal resistance. It's just very good. You get very good mouthfuls of smoke. It's very well constructed. If anything, if not anything, this cigar is beautifully constructed. I mean, it's soft and kind of spongy, but it's still firm. Okay, it's got some weight to it, but it's not really, really heavy, and it's not air. I mean, it's just the quality control here was great. I really like the pigtail. Now on the pigtail, I went ahead and I cut the top of it. I get a guillotine cut. You can just take that in whatever way the wrapper's twisting. Just grab that pigtail and twist it and come right off. And I've been told that that's what the pigtail is for. I don't know. You be the judge of that. It's your cigar. But anyway, yeah, this thing is it's a good cigar. It's not very complex. It's kind of got that black coffee. It's got that, which, you know, it's got an earthiness to it. It's got that cedar, and it's kind of a sweetness to it. So it's kind of it's not that powerful cigar. It's a full-bodied cigar. It's billed as medium to full, but for me, the flavors are very robust. Okay, they're just very, very robust. They're not like weak, and I'm not tasting any type of spice yet. So we're just gonna take it from there, and I'll be back in the second third and tell you what I think about it from there. Stay tuned. All right. We are back. We are definitely in definitely, of course we would be. We're in the second third of this cigar. We're, about to the halfway point, about 20 minutes into it. Very well burning cigar, okay? It burns nice and slow. It kind of waits on you. It doesn't sit there and plume smoke and burn. The draw is effortless, and perfect. I mean, it's not very airy. I'm getting a lot of smoke out of it. The flavors are consistent. They're still about the same. I'm getting that cedar. I've got that very good silty black coffee. And of course, it pairs well with the black coffee. Drinking out of my coolest dad mug because according to my daughter Madison, I'm the coolest dad. But anyway, getting into the second third after the first ash, and I let the ash hang on, but as soon as I ashed it, the flavors kind of picked up a little bit, and it got a little bit more sweet, like a cream, almost like I took sweet cream and poured it into my black coffee. It picks up that note. Very good. It's got pepper. Okay, the pepper kind of fades away on the palate, but it's in the retrohale, and for me, it's a strong cigar. It's a full strength cigar. I'm starting to get a little flowering split right there, so I'm going to go ahead and ash that. I'm probably smoking this thing a little faster than what aficionados, the pinky guys would say, because my cherry there is a little long. But it's good, okay? When I get a cigar that's got good flavor, I'll sit there and I end up smoking them a little too fast. But so where are we at? Let's get to the flavor of this thing, okay? So we got cedar. It's got an earthy core, okay? It's got a very earthy tobacco taste. The black coffee is very prominent. It's got that creamy smoke texture, which gives it in that sweetness. So it gives the nuance of like a creamed strong coffee, and black pepper. That's about it. I can't say much more about the flavor profile than that. There is. I thought I was picking up a little bit of a spice, but it just kind of popped in and went away. So I'm not even gonna write that down. I have not written that down on my sophisticated journal here. Now, to me, this is the best way to keep track of your cigars. And if you really want to get, hobbyish about it, you can take your bands. This is the LFD band here. You can take your bands and kind of tape them or glue them on there. I used to do that, but ever since I started my own business, I don't have time to do that. So I just scribble it down. And you probably, if you got your hands on this, you'd probably look at it and think it was a bunch of chicken scratch, but I can decipher it. So I'm going to get into the final third of the cigar, quit running my mouth because I want to smoke it, and I'll get back and tell you what I think about it from there. Stay tuned. All right. Final third of this cigar. We're about 5 minutes past taking off the band, and we're just at about 50 minutes for this cigar, this 5x50 ring gauge cigar. Good cigar, okay? It's consistent, okay? From the light up, once it develops, of course, with the light up with that shaggy foot, you're going to get more of it was more of a wood, charry type of nuance to it. Good tobacco, good aged tobacco throughout this whole cigar. So if you're one of those guys that's not really into flavor profiles and nuances, I've been discussing that a lot this week on social media. One guy put out a post in International Cigar Smokers that he rates only on good. Will smoke again. Not really into flavor profiles, and I get it. There's a lot of people just are not into it, or they just don't pick up flavor nuances, don't look for them, whatever. So if you're one of those guys, this is one of those good cigars. Okay, the tobaccos are very aged. They're very smooth. It leaves like a silty, oily finish. It is on the full-bodied side. Okay, they bill it as a medium to full, but for me, it's very robust, very full-flavored. Strength-wise, halfway through, strength picks up on this thing, so we're at full strength for sure. Got a little buzz going on, and that's why I'm gonna put this thing out. I'm not gonna smoke it all the way down because on my third cup of coffee for the day and full strength cigar, I'm good to go, ready to start my day and go to work. We had a windstorm here last week. We've been having some windy rain, so a lot of roofs need mending and replacing, and that's what I do, so I'm going to get to it. So back to the cigar. On the flavor nuance side, the flavor of the day, the order of the day for this is a silty, rich black coffee, okay? It's got cedar and like a very deep earth. It's not a musty earth. It's like a deep, earthy core flavor. And halfway through the cigar, in the first third and going into the second third, it picked up that creamy sweetness. Okay, just very good. So what reminds me of what I want to say about the cigar is during the time that this came out, this was probably, and I'm just guessing here, this was the flavor profile that they were probably going for of that time. Now I find myself, I don't know if it's the industry or if it's just my palate, I'm starting to search out cigars with more flavors, okay, like cinnamons and nutmeg nuances, peppery, creamy, just I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you're picking up what I'm laying down, but very good cigar. You're gonna get that coffee, you're gonna get that earth, you're gonna get that pepper, and you're gonna get that cream, and it's very complex and it's very well balanced. It really hasn't shifted at all, except, towards the end here, the strength picks up and that sweetness kind of goes away. Or takes a back seat, rather, okay? And it's got a nice charry. I don't know how to explain that, like a tree bark flavor here towards the end, but you're going to like this cigar if you haven't tried it. You need to run out and try it. Daily Arsenal cigar. If you want to send me a box of these, I'll throw them into my Daily Arsenal. I think I paid about $8.50 for this Robusto. So they're a high-end cigar. They're a pricey cigar. But you definitely need to run out and try it. So Cigar Sherpa Laird Mayhew reminding you to be polite to everybody that you meet. But always have a backup plan in case you got to shoot them in the face. And I'm out.